Hello everybody, Matt from Just Stack It here, and today I want to talk about gold. With its recent test of an all-time high, I figured it was a good time to really look at what you're purchasing when you purchase gold. You're purchasing probably the best store of value for weight that I imagine you can. You get a lot of concentration of wealth in a nice little pocket-sized piece. And on the table here, we have everything ranging from a 10th ounce here with this Merc dime commemorative to quarter ounces here with the American Eagles. We have a gold sovereign over there from 1912, and here in front of us, I'm still shy of having a single gold ounce, but this is 3/4 of an ounce of gold, the Kennedy commemorative half from 2014, the W. So what are you really looking at when you're buying gold? This is pretty much everybody's bread and butter. The American Eagles, right? They come in 10th, half, quarter, and of course whole ounce denominations. Also, there's the buffalo in there. A lot of people prefer the buffalo, but the Eagles seem to be the mainstay. Those are government-backed, so they're a little higher on the cost than, say, a generic 1 ounce or quarter ounce bar of gold from just, a mint. So you do pay a little premium, but you usually get a decent amount of that back. Plus you have the safety and security of it being minted by a government mint. Now, a lot of this is some of the same stuff that we always tend to say with precious metals, basically government backed versus generic. But in here, and where I really wanted to pull everybody's thoughts to, are things like this. The odd, the commemorative, the slightly more premium gold. These things tend to hold value better, even in dips. Like here, this Standing Liberty quarter commemorative, which I'm just slightly upset about. I know they did it specifically for the weight, but the planchet size is off. It's a little smaller than an actual quarter. The dime is perfect on size, which is perfect, and I like that. But then just when you get this, your first thought is that looks a little small, and it turns out that it is. So a little disappointing there, but they did it for the weight. This is 3/4 of an ounce of gold, and it is a 2014 W Kennedy. Now this one's graded here, but when I bought this, I paid a very good price. First off, shout out to Big Flip for his auctions and his deals that come through there. I paid a really good price for it. It's harder to move some of these higher dollar items like this. It's a lot of purchasing power in one specific item, but I was able to pick that up, and it's already worth more than I paid for it. And that's without a whole bunch of crazy market movement. I don't think the market's not done any real crazy leaps and bounds. We've sank back down a bit. But even before, even right now, with the kind of market price that we're sitting at that's not, testing a new all-time high, it's still worth more now than I paid for it. And it's got multiple things going for it. It's a government minted coin. It's gold. It's graded, right? There's a lot of factors here playing into the value of this. For the right buyer, I might even fetch a price higher than the market demands right now for it. It just depends on how bad somebody would want it. But I want you to consider, when you're out purchasing gold, consider paying a little extra for some of these things, because things like these are literally a dime a dozen. They are everywhere. Everybody has them. Maybe some graded examples, proof 70 or something like that might be, a little something extra to take a look at. But As far as all of the business strikes, everybody has these. They mint these by the millions. So it pays to have something a little special. It will help you move it. It will suffer less fluctuation with the price. When you have these specialty coins, when you're getting your gold, like these here, they're going to suffer less market fluctuation than something like this that's basically primarily tied to what gold's price is. You have a little premium baked in here, but not much. And so these, really ride the waves with the market, whereas these are not necessarily going to suffer as hard when the market shifts. Now, they will go up with the market the way that the market intends, because at minimum they're worth their gold weight. So you get less downside, albeit incrementally, but more upside if things do take off and move. You're going to go up with the gold price, but you're not going to suffer as much in loss because they're low mintage in a lot of these cases, and they're often hard to come by, which is a case in point here why I do not have they made a Standing Liberty $50 commemorative in gold as well, and I do not have that yet. I saw one, but it was a 3-piece set with the dime and the Standing Liberty quarter, and they did not want to break up the set, which is why I couldn't pick that one up. But that's the only one I've seen in person. So that's on my list of things to get eventually. But consider, when you're purchasing your gold, maybe spending a little extra on something like this. Not only that, but they're cool. They're conversation pieces. They're nicer to look at. I mean, this is probably, I know it's just a depiction, right? But this is probably the best view of a Standing Liberty quarter that I've ever had in my hands. And that's nice to be able to see and look at and get an idea of what it really was when it was minted. So I like it for those reasons. I have some very good Merc dimes, but having one in gold just to look at, cartwheel, and kind of examine is just a thing of true beauty. So think about this when you're purchasing your gold. Different strokes for different folks. Purchase what you want. If you're weight stacking and that's all that matters to you, by all means, buy those bars and stack it up, or grams, or whatever your denomination you're purchasing at the time. But don't overlook these. These have a lot going for them. They're really cool. And whenever somebody does know my secret and I can actually share my coin collection with them, such as you guys here, I love to show off these coins. There's just something about them. I mean, in this case, you have the history. 1912. How many people have held this coin? What has it gone through? And how did it stay in this good of condition? I can tell you one thing. The last owner kept good care of it. I know that for sure. But past that, who knows? This thing's 11 years old? That's crazy. But it's gold. And it's valuable. So I keep these things on hand. I like looking at them often. And they will hold their value a little better than generic bullion or even some of the other government minted stuff, because of the low mintage and their scarcity. So something to consider for you as you go about your stacking journey. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Tell me if you have any special gold pieces that you keep and what made you purchase those. All right, guys, I appreciate everyone's time and attention. As always, I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.